Lord, sorry, Lord, Christ is risen. Welcome to St. Cyril Methodius Orthodox Church. I'm Father Gregory with a frog in my throat. And it's good to have you here with us this morning in Madison, Wisconsin, at least streaming online, hopefully, when liturgy starts at about 9:30, which is just about an hour and a half from now. You'll be able to join us. But if not, hopefully, if you can't be here in person, you'll be, excuse me, with us online. Either way, it's always good to have you with us. So one of the things about being a chaplain at a major research university is that I encounter on a fairly regular basis some very odd views of human reason. And primarily what it is a view of human reason which is reduced to merely that which can be quantified. So the view of reason is very materialistic. And I'll be the first to tell you that I think science is a great and marvelous thing. Certainly my life is better for it. This is why we're able to talk this morning. But reason is not simply empirical. You know, that kind of materialistic view or reduction of reason is really unhelpful. And what do I mean by that? You know, running up to the 2020 election, I remember having a conversation with someone at the university, won't tell you who, and this individual was very concerned about specifically, you know, a Trump reelection. And so one of the things that the person did in class was to encourage students to get out and protest. And I found that to be rather odd, because I was thinking, well, why not, since this is a university, why not encourage the students to engage in public debate and discussion? But as I thought about it more, I realized that underlying this encouraging of the students to protest was something that I've encountered a number of times in different universities, but also more generally in the culture, which is a lack of confidence in reason's ability to know the truth in the absence of reason's ability to know the truth, and especially truth in the moral and the practical realms. Well, then what we're left with is protest or some other assertion of power, of authority, of coercion, basically. Now, this is or should be troubling. The idea that the only way to make one's point is through coercion, whether that's explicitly, you know, at the barrel of a gun, or to borrow from Mao, or by protest, threatening to close things down. That's not helpful, because in fact, what we have to learn how to use reason and to be able to disagree with each other in a manner that sees our disagreement as a productive pursuit of the truth, a mutual a mutual pursuit of the truth. In the absence of that understanding of reason, then what we're left with really is simply power. Now, there's no question that the church understands that often in human life, relationships are really about power between individuals or between groups, which is why reason is so important, because reason, right reason, helps us understand the correct use, the morally right use of power and authority. So for example, reason tells me that if I am strong, I ought to protect the weak. I ought to protect those who are not able to protect themselves. This is why, for example, we are concerned about people on the margin of society, because they are not in a position of being able to defend themselves in many areas. But we defend those on the margin of society for the same reason that we're pro-life. It is incumbent upon those of us who are strong to protect the weak, and by implication, those of us who are strong should not impose or ourselves upon those who are weak. So we protect the unborn, we protect those on the margin of society, because this is what we do when we are strong. But if our understanding of reason is not materialistic, but more spiritual and more transcendent, then we begin to understand that there isn't simply one kind of power, because because there's not one kind of strength, and that there are different ways in which individuals can be marginalized relative to the community. One of the benefits, put that in air quotes, of rejecting reason's ability to know the truth, especially moral truth and ontological truth, metaphysical truth, is that it allows the individual to define power, authority, marginalization in a way which serves their own immediate interests. So, if to be on the margin of society is just one thing and one thing alone, then anyone who's not on the margin is automatically, I guess, an oppressor, which is where we sort of find ourselves. And by the way, we find ourselves in this situation whether we're speaking to people on the left or increasingly even on the right. We have lost the use of reason. But as an Orthodox Christian, I believe that Jesus Christ is the Logos. He is reason itself. So to despair of human reason, to denigrate human reason, is in fact to denigrate God. Because human reason participates in the divine reason. We share in some way by grace in the mind of God. We can know moral and ontological and metaphysical truth because God knows these things, and we come to know these secondary truths to the degree that we know He who is truth with a capital T, Jesus Christ Himself. In the end, human reason in the West, in the Western tradition, and that includes, by the way, not only Catholics and Protestants, but also Orthodox Christians, the value of human reason reflects the incarnation, the fact that God is Himself reason, and that to exercise reason is to share in some way in the life of God. It's only through the right use of reason that we can get past this zero-sum approach that we have in society where there are simply victims and perpetrators. The fact of the matter is that depending on circumstances, any of us, as Solzhenitsyn points out in the Gulag Archipelago, can be victim or persecutor because the line between good and evil runs through each human heart. Well, I've got to get ready for liturgy. I'm going to start that in an hour in 15 minutes. Ours will start at 9 o'clock. That's about 45 minutes. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. If you're not able to be with us here in Mad City at St. Cyril and Methodius, and you're watching online, as always, give us a thumbs up or a heart, make a comment. Just let us know you're there, okay? Because that really helps us. I've been beginning to talk to the parish, especially as COVID things start to ease up, about maybe no longer streaming liturgy. So if you have an opinion about that, let me know. Anyway, so I've got to go. God bless you. Christ is risen, and I'll see you in about an hour or so. All right. Bye-bye.